Marvel Rivals is changing the way you play the game in 2026. And what we're experiencing right now is just the testing phase of where they actually introduce Deadpool.
Deadpool joins Marvelrivals. Deadpool is a...
Oh, you can't march a genius like me into a single class. I'm versatile, baby.
But before we get into that, before we get into the changes of what's going to happen down the line of 2026 and season 6 and so on, we got to get into all this season 6 content, all the news, all the team ups, all the buffs, all the nerfs and all that good stuff. So let's dive right into it. So one of the things we got to talk about is actually going to be this brand new map that we're actually going to be getting after January 29th. And that map is going to be a museum of contemplation. This is supposed to be a convoy map, and this map is going to be releasing after January 29th. I will say, one thing Marvelrivals is actually doing right is the fact that we're getting new maps every single season. I think that keeps the game actually fresh. I think that keeps people coming back, and also the characters that they're introducing, that keeps people coming back to this game as well. So kudos. The next thing that they're actually releasing in season 6 is going to be a new photo mode in Times Square. So essentially you can take pictures, you can create thumbnails, you can just essentially have a great time in Times Square. They're trying to make Times Square essentially like a hub where you can kind of just connect, meet new players, compete with people, and all that good stuff. Essentially what Times Square is essentially aiming to be. Speaking of Times Square, they're actually adding a new mode within the Times Square map, essentially called Clobbering Club. Clobbering Club is essentially a place where you can challenge players to a 1v1. They didn't really give the specifics on as far as how much or how long the team can actually be, whether it being a 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, whatever the case may be. But if you got beef with somebody in the game and someone thinks that they're better than you, or you think you're better than them, hey,
Suck my club.
What did you do?
You're halfway there.
hey.
You didn't even do anything.
Now we can test the limits. Now, those are some of the new features that are actually happening in season 6. Now, therefore, since we got that part out of the way, now we got to get to this Marvelrivals and as far as how they're actually changing how we play Marvelrivals in season 6 and so on and so forth. So for those who don't know, Deadpool was the first character to actually be released in Marvelrivals that is actually a 3-role player. So essentially what that means is you can play him as a tank, you can play him as a DPS, or you can play him as a strategist. Now, when it comes to you playing him in certain game modes, you can only have one Deadpool per team. You can't really have 2 Deadpools or 3 Deadpools on the same team. It can only be one Deadpool per team, which makes sense, right? Now, here is where this gets a little bit interesting when it comes to this character. As far as balancing wise, he actually feels pretty balanced. Not according to me, not according to me. I've only had like 30 minutes to an hour worth of playtime with him, but according to many people within the Marvelrivals community, they actually say he's pretty balanced, they actually say he's pretty fair, and they actually say he's pretty fun as well. Now, the thing about Marvelrivals is, this is just the testing phase. They don't just make this kind of character and just drop 3 different roles on him without actually getting feedback as far as what he actually feels like within the community. You may see Deadpool be the first character. You may see, I don't know, Thanos be the next character, you know? You may see, who else is in Marvelrivals? I mean, not Marvelrivals, Marvel Cinematic Universe? Nightcrawler? I don't know. I'm just making characters up at this point. But you get what I'm trying to say. This is just the testing phase. And based off of what the community is actually saying, if you guys are still watching this video, I just want to say I appreciate you guys and shout out to you guys for tuning in to your boy. And I just want you guys to know to feel free to drop a subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. Helps me out. Deadpool is actually one of the funnest characters that are actually in the game as far as right now, and there's been damn near every game, not damn near every game, but most of my games in competitive, I have seen a whole bunch of Deadpool characters in each and every single game. Most, not every, my bad. Now, I think he's a fun character. I think he's a dope character. And I think the reason that they actually did that, because most of you guys may not notice, but Marvelrivals, when they playing these characters, they playing these characters in phases. You know, it doesn't just come in thin air where like, okay, we do a Vanguard this season, now we're going to go and do a fucking DPS next season just because of the unbalancing. No, there's a story that they're trying to play. There is a specific character list that they're dropping at a specific time, and there's also a time frame of when they actually drop these characters. Now, as you guys know, the balancing in this game is actually god awful. We all know this, right? I mean, you have about like 25 plus DPS, you have about 11 strategists, and then you have about maybe 15 Vanguards, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. I'm just throwing numbers out there based off the last time I played the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, everybody knows that was a huge problem because you had an issue where people wanted to play different roles heroes, or most people wanted to play DPS, and you had very few people who wanted to play either a strategist or a vanguard. And the reason for that is because of the characters that they particularly made in DPS. You had all of the badass characters in DPS, and then you had some of the most basic characters in either vanguard or a strategist. Cloak and Dagger strategist, Invis strategist, Thor vanguard, Angela vanguard, you know. But then you got Blade DPS, you got Iron Fist DPS, you got Moon Knight DPS, you got so many of these badass characters that are DPS, and just vanguards and strategists just aren't getting the job done, and balancing is just completely off. And so what they try to do to pivot that, to trying to just, you know, change their entire system as far as the phasing of when they actually release these characters and the roles as well, they try to introduce a 3-role character. Meet Deadpool.
Hey, take a break, boss. Your new pal Wade will handle this one himself. We've gotten too comfortable with Guang Guang here these last few seasons. Now it's time for a little Deadpool here. Dear rivals, Deadpool here. I've heard all your non-stop complaining online about how the game needs more vanguards and strategists. But designing a superhero is a super stressful process. And poor Ji-young has already lost most of his hair. So, I asked him to put me in the game early and take some work off his plate. Little did he know, I was messing with my code to give you whiners the best solution possible. So now, I'm a duelist. And a vanguard. And a strategist. A Marvel 3-in-1, baby!
Now, like I mentioned, he's a dope character, the community loves him, and I think this is going to be something that they're going to test. Now, depending on how well the community responds to this Deadpool character, depending on the balance, and depending on how strong he is, depending on the character selection, depending on the role selection as far as what roles most people are usually playing him as, they may change up their system as far as how they're going to do roles down the line. So, if most people are using Deadpool as a vanguard or Deadpool as a strategist, then you may see them pivot to more vanguard players to combat or balance the DPS mismatch, or you may see them pivot to strategist players to kind of combat or balance the mismatch that duelist has. So this is all just a testing phase of what Marvelrivals is actually trying to do. Now, I can guarantee you, if this character does really well, I can guarantee you this is not the first and only time we're going to see them do a 3-role character. It may not happen every season, but it's probably going to happen every 4 to 6 seasons in a way. So just like how we got our first triple role character in season 6, we may not get that same luxury all the way to season 12. We may not get that same luxury till maybe season 10. It just depends on the player feedback, the community feedback, and also how well and how quick Marvelrivals can actually adapt to the community feedback, because we know they got a lot of stuff on their mind. They got PvE, they got PvP, they got 18 versus 18. They're planning a whole bunch of stuff for season 6 and so on and so forth. And this game, I got a feeling, is just taking off. Now, that's enough of as far as how Marvelrivals is actually going to change. Now let's kind of transition into the team-ups and buffs. So we got a Deadpool and Jeff team up. Essentially, Jeff spits out a toy and he essentially heals people. So Deadpool is essentially the anchor. Jeff spits out a toy. He kind of does like a little circle in a way. That toy does a circle in a way, and anyone within that circle starts to heal people. That's the team up that essentially Deadpool and Jeff has to offer. We also have a team up where Penny Parker and Spider-Man does a team up as well. Essentially, Spider-Man does a web bond, and essentially if you throw that web bomb before the countdown, it explodes and does air damage. If you don't throw the web bomb before the countdown actually goes off, you essentially gain a web cluster charge. Now that's some of the new team ups. As far as some of the older team ups, it looks like they're actually removing Ever Burning Burn. That team up is going to remove. Penny is also going to be removed from Rocket Network as well. So unfortunate. Now those are the team ups. Let's kind of transition into the buffs and nerfs. Looks like Hulk and Captain America will be buffed. Strange will also have improved mobility, and Angela will be nerfed as well. Now, I played Hulk and I don't really feel a difference in Hulk as of right now. But then again, I've only played Hulk for 1 round just based off the comp that my other team was using. Hulk was not working, so I haven't had a chance to test Hulk, but Hulk, Captain America, and Strange now has a buff. I believe Strange has some sort of mobility buff where you can now bunny hop in a way, so you can kind of jump in the air, jump down, and pop your ult, all that good stuff. You guys seen it happen multiple times in these games, all right? Angela is also going to be nerfed as well. So those are the tanks. Duelists, it looks like Iron Fist is going to be buffed, and also Blade is going to be buffed as well. However, Daredevil is going to be nerfed. Thank the God Almighty. Strategist, looks like Cloak is going to be buffed, but it also looks like Gambit is going to be nerfed along with Invis is going to be nerfed as well. Now, here's the thing. I'm not mad at the Gambit nerf. I'm not mad at the Gambit nerf at all because I've seen some badass Gambit players that are actually like kind of DPS focused. And besides, what's getting out of hand is just the triple support. We got to do something about this goddamn triple support, yo, because I've seen triple supports where Gambits, they damn near play a strategist, but also play him as a DPS, and that changes the entire goddamn game. So we got to do something about this triple support, goddamn it. But nonetheless, thank God. And that is essentially all that was going on with season 6 and so on and so forth. Now, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys enjoy Deadpool right now? Do you think this 3-row combo is going to change the way Marvel Rivals is actually played? Do you think this 3-row combo should actually be used with every character down the line that they're actually going to be released? Or do you think they should actually do this every 6 months, such as what they did with Deadpool? Let me know in the comment section down below. I also did a video where I talked about the new PC and gaming consoles that are actually going to be releasing their prices, and it's actually going to be a lot more than what we are used to paying. I mean, the prices are actually going to be insane. And so if you guys want more information on what those prices could actually be, the video is going to be up here below. Be sure to check that video out, y'all. It's right here if you know what I'm saying. But other than that, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys subscribe, like, and let me know in the comment section down below. I read all the comments, y'all. I'm telling you. Other than that, I am out of here. I appreciate you guys. Peace.